All right, my name is Temond LeSure, Temond Akin LeSure to be exact. Um, and we're here about our podcast, and we're going to start this podcast off. I'm here with my cousin, brother, cousin. I want you to introduce yourself.
My name is Trey Copeland. Like I said, Temond said, I'm his cousin, and we're here to talk about Temond's new book.
All right.
Yeah, Temond, you've been working on this book for a while. I know that. I've seen the manuscript,
Okay.
and I just first want you to tell the viewers what inspired you to write this book called Religious Trauma.
Oh, that's a big question, but in a nutshell, just from growing up in the religious environment, being around my dad, my mom, just so engrossed in religion, and the things that I went through kind of inspired me to write this book, because I wanted the whole world, or I wanted different people who have had similar situations dealing with religion, religious traumas, and tell my story to help someone else. In this book, I'm not bashing religion, but I'm letting people know how it has been deceptive, how religion can be deceptive, how it can be a money-making, how it can be people can use it as a tool to control people, narcissist tactics. And I've seen religious on every level. So I wanted the world to know, say, hey, religion has a lot of dynamics in it. So, and being able to point out those things that are going to cause trauma. Because you have pastors who, you see on TV that they have slept with so many people in the church, they child molestations, and you figure, like, how can all this happen? How can the pastor or religious people be so distraught and be so evil? So I've seen religion on many levels of being evil, being manipulative, being narcissist. So I decided to write this book and tell my story of the way I saw religion growing up as a child, and the trauma that I dwelt. I don't want to bash anyone, in this book, or, it's just I'm telling my story. It's just I'm telling the story in my eyes. This is how things transformed for me as a small little kid, born in Memphis, Tennessee. Spent a lot of time in Coldwater, Mississippi, and spent a lot of time at your home. Growing up together, witnessing my dad taking us from church to church. If I always say this to people, if I don't go to church ever again in my life, today I'll still have been to church more than the average person. It's just the way it is, because we went to church on Saturday, being Seventh-day Adventist, and we went to church on Sunday, Church of Christ, Baptist, you name it. We've been there. And my dad, he had leadership positions in these churches. On Saturday, we would go to church all day, and on Sunday, we would go to church all day. So as I grew up, I was thinking, like, why do we go to church on Saturday and Sunday? Are we Seventh-day Adventists? Are we Baptists? Or are we Church of Christ? So as I got older, I realized what Dad was doing. My dad, every 2 years, he started off at his drive for seeking the truth was so powerful that he was going to find whatever the truth was. And by any means necessary, he was going to seek out churches. And all the time, he's taking a piece of religion from this church, this church, and bring it together to form his own religion. And a lot of times, over the every 2 or 3 years, his religious belief would change, and we would be so engrossed in one thing, and then 2 or 3 years later, we in another. He found something new. So his ideology of religion was trying to search and be the best and find the best religion to satisfy his mentality that he was looking for. So with that, as kids, we just drug along because that's what our family was doing. That's what my dad was leading. My mom would follow, and that's where we adventure off into. So we definitely had a religious adventure.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's kind of, in a nutshell, kind of put things together.
Trauma, you mentioned different types of trauma, comes in many forms. Can you talk about like the specific types of trauma that you experienced growing up with your religious father?
So one trauma is, being Seventh Adventist, we weren't allowed to do anything from sunset Friday to sunset Saturday. So in saying that, you couldn't watch TV, you couldn't ride your bike, you couldn't cook. You can warm food up, but those 24 hours from when the sun set on Friday to the sun set on Saturday, that was the holy day.
The Sabbath.
The Sabbath. That was the Sabbath. And if you read in the Bible, you see the Pharisees, they made Saturday a burden. Yeah, it was a burden. You couldn't, if your cow got stuck in the mud, you couldn't get your cow out until the next day. Your cow just had to sit there and suffer. But that's kind of like how we were. We couldn't do certain things on Saturday. So therefore, it restricted us from being ourselves. We just be so glad when the Sabbath is over. It's just like you let out of jail. When Saturday, soon we watching that sun go down on Saturday evening, and as soon as that sunset.
So you all observed the Sabbath day on all day Saturday. So from Friday, when the sun set on Friday, all the way to when the sun set on Saturday, your family observed the Sabbath day.
Yeah.
Just like Jewish people observe the Sabbath.
Exactly.
Shabbat.
Exactly. So, you couldn't have any unholy conversations. You have to talk about Bible. We played Bible games. We went to church, Sabbath school, listened to the preaching. We go to AY after church to close out the Sabbath. So it wasn't a fun time because of the restrictions of the things that we couldn't do. I remember one day we had church at our home in Memphis. And I just walked outside. We had a few families at our home. We just got finished having worship. And I just saw my bike laying on the side of the house, and I just got on it and started riding down the driveway. And as soon as the front door opened, I saw my dad. And it dawned on me that it was Sabbath. He said, "Temond." And I was like, oh no, I'm finna get a whooping. I forgot it was Saturday. So I got my butt whooped because I was riding the bike on Saturday. So so those the type of scars that I witnessed. My dad was so profound in his religion and what he believed.
This is Seventh-day Adventism that you're talking about? Is it Adventism, or is this a more extreme version of Adventism?
A more extreme. It was called Reformed Seventh-day Adventists.
Okay.
Reformed Seventh-day Adventists. Reformed Seventh-day Adventists was a little bit more conservative, anti-government type of mentality. They believed in, we teach our kids, you can't go to school, you can't go get a job. You can't have like Social Security numbers and stuff like that. It was a more conservative, we're going to be self-sufficient in the world. So we was in this environment. So You know,
so an extreme form of Seventh-day Adventist.
Extreme form of Seventh-day Adventist
is what your family practiced.
Yes, is what my dad leaned into. First, we started off as regular Seventh-day Adventists, where Seventh-day Adventists, you know, they're vegetarians. Then we became vegans, that we didn't eat no dairy,
no meat,
no eggs, no cheese, nothing.
Vegan.
Straight vegan for years.
Okay.
Years. You know, no milk. Only soy milk.
Okay.
Or almond milk.
Vegan.
Straight vegan.
Lifestyle.
Vegan lifestyle. My mom,
was that traumatic?
when you go and you had cousins like Trey, you guys, we would come to your home.
I was eating swine at that point.
Yeah.
I was straight up eating swine at that point.
So just to see you guys more liberal, eating chicken and stuff like that, and then we couldn't, it was kind of like, man, it was good, but it was not good in a way. It's for a health mentality, and I still in my adulthood life now take some of those practices and principles with me, but not as extreme, because we was taught that if you eat good and you eat clean, that you're gonna live forever. You live until your hundreds. As you may know, after I got older and adult, I started seeing our grandmother lived to 99, and she wasn't no vegan. So I started seeing these people, and I started seeing Reformed Seventh-day Adventists dying, at 60, 70. I'm like, okay, they live in this healthy message, but they still dying like regular people. So, it took a time for the trauma to actually come to a full head.
I don't know. I remember when your family was a vegan or practicing veganism, and your mom, she would make different. I remember that she would make different dishes for vegan dishes, and some of them were really good. She would really make great vegan dishes. Yes. It was to the point where some of them I would choose to eat her vegan dish over my McDonald's or whatever
like she had special K loaf. It's like a meatloaf with no meat. She had TVP patties that were patties out of oatmeal. We ate stuff like gluten, that she would fry gluten. It was kind of remind you of chicken, but these are things that she substituted, and we took it as we're gonna live longer. We're gonna live happier. Our skin is gonna be, our thinking process is gonna be better than anyone else, and that's the way. That's why we was taught that. So that's what I believed in. Say, hey, until I got older and I started getting sick too. Yeah. I'm like, okay, I catch a cold. You catch a cold. I catch a cold too. So it's not. So the theory behind it that hey, you won't have any of these diseases. In reality, that wasn't true. Just because you're vegan, you live a healthier life, but it's only you can't control everything, and that's kind of the extreme part that was played into factor with what we was taught in that type of environment.
Yeah, I know vegans now though, families who are vegan, and I don't know, the children seem like they're okay. They accept it. They don't seem traumatized by veganism.
Yeah.
But were there other aspects of your childhood that you were and your religious upbringing that were more traumatic or that caused you trauma or pain or what? Because you named the book "Religious Trauma," so you must have experienced some things growing up in this religious household. Religious family that you carried with you.
Yeah, well, one of the main things. There was several things. The food aspect of it, the passing of my sister, Fian, and also us being not able to go to public school. And I talk a little bit about that trauma side of just being able my dad, his type of person, once he got a belief in something, he was going to act. And that's something I do admire about my dad. If he decided that this is wrong, and he knew how to stop cold turkey. Like cold turkey. He didn't eat meat. One day he was eating pork, and the next day he found out pork was bad. Done. Never went back to it. So in our religious environment with Reformed Seventh-day Adventists, they told us that public school, was of the devil. And they called it sending your children on the fires of Molich. So the fires of Molich, I still don't know the whole dynamic of it, but basically you just killing your children and poisoning their minds by allowing them to attend public school. So with that mentality, Reformed Seventh-day Adventists believe that in the next year or two that Jesus is going to come. And they have a sound prophetic notion that in the next year or two Jesus will be here. So what is the point? So if I told you, or if you believe that Jesus is going to be here next week, how would you live this week? Your last week you knew Jesus was coming back. What would you do? Would you be different? Would you experience life different if that's what you believed in? So we was told that. So we figured Jesus was going to come. Jesus is coming soon. Like a lot of people say, Jesus is coming soon. I laugh at it now because you don't believe what you're actually saying. You're just making a statement. But we actually live. Jesus is coming soon. And we lived it.
What does that look like when you live Jesus is coming soon? Jesus is coming tomorrow. You asked the question rhetorically.
Yeah.
Like, what would you do? What would I do if I thought Jesus was coming next week?
Yes.
What did you all do?
We prepared. Mentally, physically. We cut off. No more school. You don't need to go to school. There's no point of going to school.
Really?
There's no point of working. Why you need to go work and make money and you fix to go to heaven and live on streets of gold and have your mansion?
So you guys quit education and quit your job?
Quit jobs, education.
Your family?
Family. My dad immediately pulled us out of public schools. I was going to Whitehaven Elementary School, 3rd grade. That summer, we begged and pleaded that my dad would allow us to go back to school, but he was set a stone that,
How did he tell you? That's one question I always had as your cousin. How did your father come into your house? Your mom's there. I'm trying to picture it. Like, how did Uncle Clay come in there and be like, "Hey man, yeah, right. Y'all never going to school again. Jesus come." Did he say Jesus? Jesus about to come.
Jesus is about to come. We need to get ready for Jesus.
We need to get ready for Jesus. Therefore, no more school.
No more school.
That's how. I mean, no, I'm asking, man.
Well,
how did it go? How did the evening go in your house?
Well,
was your mom cooking dinner and some tofu and shit?
It was more of a.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta be doing tofu. That's everyone you know. There's gotta be some tofu.
Gotta be some tofu, yeah. Tofu.
Your mom tofu was fire back then. I used to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So to your question, it was something as the brethren during worship time.
Okay.
That they was studying and we was reading the Bible and they was being led to, hey, public school is of the devil.
Okay.
We need to be preparing our children and our lives for the coming of Jesus. If we expect to look at the world, the shape the world is in. So they always went through whatever times was going in. I think Reagan was in office at that time. And look at the things that happened, wars and rumors of wars. And, the Bible.
So they thought it was end time.
We living in the end time. We living in the end time. The mark of the beast. They was looking at, hey, the mark of the beast is around the corner. So Jesus coming is very soon.
So they were reading the Revelations, reading the Bible,
Revelations,
literally,
and other books. There was a prophet who wrote Ellen G. White. I don't know if you heard of her.
Well, I mean, I know your father would have told me all about her.
Yeah. So she is the prophetic prophetess for the Seventh-day Adventist Church.
The Reformed Seventh-day Adventist or the Seventh-day Adventist?
The real Seventh-day Adventist.
Which one is the real one?
The real one is the General Conference.
That's the real. That's the proper real Seventh-day Adventist.
The organization.
The organization. So Ellen G. White is the founder of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, and then there's some other branch
off. Reform.
And those are guys that your family were engaged with.
Yes, that's where they was giving their information, getting their information. They was coming up with information at this time that led Dad to say, hey, they all was doing the same thing.
So they were pulling their kids out.
They pulled their kids out of school too.
Okay, because I remember as your cousin, y'all used to have Bible study a lot. So some of these guys would come and have Bible study with y'all
all day long.
And they were telling you
got to take your
kids out of school. So let me ask you this, because I didn't know how it came about. Were you sitting up listening to this shit over a period of time?
Yes, every word, bro. Every word.
I'm sorry to laugh, but this is. I mean, it's deep. No. It's deep. It's deep. Yeah. It's really deep. But I'm looking from the outside in with a window in, meaning I was around you at this time period in your life as my cousin, and I just saw these guys coming around, and you would be like, I gotta go have Bible study, and you just disappeared like I gotta. And that's it. That's the end of the day.
That's the end of
y'all
the
would
day.
have Bible study.
We would have.
And
Bible
so these
study.
guys would come in and have Bible study with you.
Yes.
Guys, and they were, and so you were as a child sitting there for weeks maybe, hearing them talk about pulling kids out of school.
Months. Yes.
So when it happened,
I didn't know that it was going to actually happen until Dad brought us in. We was getting down to the end of the school year, and I remember Dad saying, "Okay, guys, I'm gonna pull y'all out of school."
Okay.
And then Mama intervened. It was probably like in April. Mama said, "Clay, let them finish the year."
Okay.
Let them finish the year, and then we'll pull them.
Okay.
So Dad thought that was sound decision coming from Mother, and Dad decided. He said, "I'm going to teach my own children." This was the plan. Mama said, "Okay, you can pull them as long as you teach them math, reading, social studies." And Dad agreed that he would teach us he would homeschool us.
Okay, because your dad had already quit his job because Jesus coming, so he didn't work.
No, he wasn't working. He was a substitute teacher. Mom was working at the IRS.
At this point, when you got
the Internal Revenue Service,
she worked
working for the government. Yes,
she worked she had an good paying job.
Great paying job. She was footing all the bills.
Okay, so she was covering. So she was
buying all the food for all the families that was coming to our home on Saturday.
And he was waiting for Jesus.
Yes,
and then
preparing
for Jesus, not just waiting, preparing. For getting the family in order for Jesus to
getting
return.
The families and other families, whoever he could bring and invite to our congregation that we had at our home. We'd have church every Saturday at our home, and we would have about 4 or 5 families that would come and join us at home that he was presenting his message to.
Just a thought. What happened when it didn't happen?
Yeah. That's a deep. I hear you. Because you in your book you talk about this, and one time y'all was stayed up all night waiting for Jesus.
Yes.
Can you talk about that? What happened how did y'all feel when it didn't happen?
Well, one particular day, Dad, he had been preaching and he's been studying, and him and his people that was following him, that was studying with him, they decided, became prophetic, and they had a date.
So they had a date.
They had a date that Jesus was going to return. So this particular day, everybody came to our home. And that whole night we prayed. Everybody took turns praying, and just pouring out their soul to God. like, Lord, save us. Like, take away the sins. People was agonizing, crying, and pleading. The Lord, just save me. Take all the sins out of my life and save me. I want to go meet my loved ones who will pass on. I want to go meet Fianne. I remember that was my prayer. I want to see my sister again. So, Lord, take away all the sinful thoughts, sinful desires. I want to be with you.
Okay. Make me pure. I'm going to
make me pure. Make me pure. So everybody took turns and we just prayed. It was probably about 12 to 15 people there at our home, and everybody just took turns praying. We was on our knees and we prayed all night long. To when the morning came, we was on our knees, and me and my brother LeRod, we was asleep. And I can remember Mom.
You're falling asleep.
We're falling asleep.
On your knees.
On our knees.
Okay.
So
in the prayer circle.
In the prayer circle.
Okay.
And Mom woke us up, shook us, and told us to go get in the bed.
Mm-hmm. You write about this in the book.
Yes.
This scene.
So we went and got in the bed, and I looked up, I saw the sun out, and I was like, okay.
What does this mean?
What does this mean?
Is this heaven? Is this heaven? What is it?
So,
how do
as a young
how did it feel
child at 12 years old,
when
11,
Jesus didn't show up?
It's like Y2K when it didn't happen.
Yeah. You just went back to normal. What do you do?
Well, the adults started to study and try to figure out where they went wrong. They immediately started that process.
So they was like, we must have missed.
We missed something. So let's dig harder. Let's not let this discourage our faith. We still believe he's coming soon. We just miscalculated. So they went back to the drawing board to come up with another.
Man, I would hate to be a kid in this bullshit.
And yeah.
I ain't lying, man. I'm so glad, man, my folks wasn't into this bullshit here, boy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, man.
But hey,
you asked me to sit here.
Yes. Oh no, go ahead. It's just
like, nah, man.
I look back and like
wow. God damn, man.
It's something you can laugh about now.
Yeah, I guess so.
But it was real. It was at that time. It was real. Like
funny. It's not.
It
funny.
was.
It's traumatic.
It's
traumatic. You thought that your life as on Earth was over.
Yes.
As a child, you thought tomorrow when before the sun comes up, Jesus is going to come and take us away from here, and then it didn't happen. Like, as an adult, speaking for myself as an adult, I'm like, alarm bells, red flags would start ringing for me. It was like, oh, hey, man, these guys, they may not know about.
And the thing is about my dad, he believed 100% in what he was preaching and teaching. And that's the part I look and say, hey, this is, now if he wasn't phony about it. You see what I'm saying? Somebody can be phony about it and know you misleading people. That has a different twist. But when you actually believe it yourself, because he did. He actually believed.
Your father was a true believer.
He was a true believer.
He wasn't trying to mislead people.
He wasn't trying.
Really
His heart was pure. His heart, yeah.
Jesus coming.
He thought Jesus was coming. The Bible said it. And these are some signs and wonders that you're going to see before the coming of Jesus. It clearly says in the Bible. There are going to be wars and rumors of wars. The moon is going to turn red, and we've seen all these things. And you asked me to sit up here. I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit in the storyline. Okay.
I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit. We're gonna digress and get back to the storyline, but I'm gonna skip ahead. Like, one of the things that your father never considered, he could not consider. Like, as a grown man, I have considered this shit. Maybe the Bible is bullshit. I'm sorry, family.
Yeah.
Maybe the Bible is bullshit.
It was. I'm
like, hey, bro, you gotta. At a certain point, you gotta consider that. I thought, but I'm a different person than your father. I mean, I think different. I'm very like analytical, looking at things. I try to look at things as they are.
And that's the reason why I brought you here. That's the reason why it was important for me to have you here.
And I'm like, I would have at some point considered, is this real? Because anyway, but your father, he keeps doubling down. It seems like that this is real. Okay, so based on my reading, I'm speaking as your father. Based on my reading and my brother's reading, because he was with these Reformed brothers, Jesus coming back on the 18th, at the night of the 18th. We gotta be praying. 19th rolls around, Mama tap y'all and say, "Go to bed. The morning is here. Go to bed." Okay. That's a letdown. That's a huge letdown.
Disappointment.
Huge disappointment.
And it's not the first time that happened.
Okay.
The prophetess Ellen G. White.
Okay.
When the early Seventh-day Adventists started the Seventh-day Adventist Church, they had 1844. I don't know if you heard of that date. 1844.
I did.
October the 22nd.
That was her original date.
That was the original date. And Adventists have always put dates on the return of Christ. So it wasn't nothing new.
Okay, so they just keep rolling this date.
They keep rolling this date.
So the first time she gave a date
was 1844, October the 22nd, 1844.
Wow, 1844.
And back in then,
like it's been 160 years though, bro. 100 something.
And back then when it happened, they had followers, like hundreds of thousands of people who sold their farms, who sold their land, sold their houses, and did the same thing and just sat up and prayed all night.
Y'all didn't sell shit.
No.
Y'all didn't sell y'all shit.
No.
Y'all just prayed.
We just prayed.
That's
but they went in. They sold everything they had for,
I just sold a Lexus and now Jesus ass it, and Jesus ass is late. I just sold the goddamn diamond rings and Jesus ass is late. I'm sorry, black people. I'm sorry. This is how black people think. I'm like, I'd be pissed and shit if I sold my goddamn. I just sold it.
Sold everything. So that's the original date that they had.
Okay, again, back to my question, because I'm gonna keep going back to the question. Because at a certain point, when do you ask yourself, is the Bible bullshit? It's like, because this is harsh. You shouldn't have asked me to sit over here, because this is harsh. We're going to come back to this question over and over throughout the traumatic.
Absolutely.
Like, because, okay, you keep going, your father keeps taking you guys down a path. And you keep repeatedly, it seems, because I've read the book, realizing that the path, it just doesn't work out the way.
It doesn't add up.
It doesn't add up. That's what I keep going. It doesn't add up.
And his love for religion, his drive for finding this new truth that everybody is going to just follow after him. And he was so engulfed into this religious path that he just kind of lost his way from reality. So, we know you have to have some faith. If you believe in Jesus, if you don't, you still got to believe in something. Hey, I got to do this, and you got to step forth. You gonna go to school, you want to become a professor, you want to become this, you go get the training, get it done. You got to believe that you can do it. So there's
some element of belief in life.
Yeah, because if you didn't believe that you can do anything, then you just sit on your ass.
Belief in life.
You got to believe in what you got to do to succeed, wherever that goal may be. So I wanted this book, I wanted every class of person from every walks of life, atheists, non-believers, halfway believing, believers. I wanted everybody and I want everybody on this panel. I know how you think because you're my cousin, so I wanted your perspective. I don't want you to hold back because I value your opinion. And there's other people who thinks like you. So, we can have a debate and not debate, but we can have a discussion.
That's right.
Yeah. And hey, and I want to hear what your point of view.
I'll tell you this. I don't know how much more time we have here.
Yeah.
Clay, my Uncle Clay, your father, he used to have Bible studies with me and with the other people. He would have Bible studies with anybody who was ready to have a Bible study.
Yeah.
Sometimes he'd force you on a Bible
Yeah,
just pop Bible study up on you. You in the living room, boom, Bible study. Like, hey, everybody, let's have a Bible study. What are you gonna say when somebody says that? You go, it's hard to get out of, especially with Clay. So anyway, I've had a lot of Bible studies with Clay, and I've read your book. I still have questions. I ended up in a different place. Having heard Clay's teachings as a child, when I was a child, I heard Clay's teaching, your father's teaching about heaven and everything. I ended up in a completely different place, it seems, than where you ended up in your book. It's like you, even after you talk about how traumatic this religious experience was for you as a child, you, in the second part of the book, you go back to that same religious experience, those same Bible verses, those same Bible teachings. And I'm saying the gap for me is the core question. It's like, it's not that maybe Clay was interpreting the Bible wrong. Maybe there is no right way to interpret that shit. I'm sorry. Like maybe the book itself has limitations. And that's where I ended up in my journey. The book is limited in my worldview. But you're still telling people, okay,
it's a blueprint.
You can get somewhere.
From my experience.
Through faith. You can get somewhere. And I'm like,
you have to believe in something. To be as a human being, we are designed as humans to believe in something.
Okay.
But you got to have a balance. You can't say, God, pay my rent. And sit on your butt.
Okay.
You can't do that.
Okay.
To pay your rent, God gave you the strength. He gave you the mind to
reaching for the drink for the maker's mark.
He's giving you the strength and the ability to go and work.
Put this back up.
Sorry.
Pardon me. Yes.
He's giving you the strength. So all I'm saying is, you have to have a balance, and that's the only way. You can't be too extreme. I've been in a religious environment where there was just too extreme. And then I've been in a religious environment where it's just no value, no whatsoever. People doing all kind of stuff. And y'all call yourselves religious, or Christians, or whatever. But it clearly tells us in the Bible to have a balance. Too much of anything will kill you. Water, you need water, but you drink too much of it.
So
you can drown.
So just so that I'm clear about because I've read the manuscript. You're saying religion is valuable, but only within balances. As long as you're balanced with your religion, it's valuable. It can be valuable to you.
It's called spirituality.
Okay, I don't know what you're saying now. Oh, it's not religion. It's spirituality.
Religion is man-made.
That's right. That's what I keep coming to with the Bible situation that was just laying out.
Man-made.
I was going to get there.
Who wrote the Bible?
I was going to get there.
King James. Who is King James? Well, that's a whole nother. But, it was written by a man who don't believe in God, but he wrote it. Like, what sense do that make?
Translated, right? Translated.
He translated it, yeah. But but he didn't believe in it. He just translated it. So, and the book is named after him, but his values and morals is unethical, as a King James. So the Bible is a foundation. It's just a foundation of ethical principles. And it's only one word from my research, from my studying, that is only one word, and it's a universal word. It's a 4-letter word. It's love. Love. And that's the only thing. That's the only thing that Jesus came. When he came, he told us love. Everything else outside of love, these rules and regulations, what you can and can't do on the Sabbath, all that is man-made. God gave us love. If you have love, you don't need nothing else. And that's what I learned. That's the balance that I have. I love you, whether you love me or not. I'm going to love. And we have that mentality, unconditional love for each other and for our fellow man. This whole world would be a better place. So in this book, this is all I'm trying to accomplish. Love.